Yo, this is your first time here. Welcome. Been here before. Welcome back. Today, I have another controller for you. This is the Joyskypower Power 6048. Technically for Nintendo Switch and Switch Lite, but me being PC gamer, as you know, may have seen, may see, I'm a PC gamer and I'll be getting used for PC gaming. So just remember, when you're watching any of this, I'll be making references to PC. However, it does work flawlessly on the Switch. Got a pal to test it and everything is just the same. So everything I say and review on this goes directly across to the Switch. Okay, and now before I get started, I'd like to apologise for this bunch of cables and this bunch of cables. As you might have noticed if you watched any of my other videos, the setup's kind of changing. I'm now doing one setup for work and one setup for gaming and content creation and so on. So it looks a little bit different from what you're used to. I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to sit in this kind of setup, but I am going to do a video on fixing this, and that is why I have left it like this and I wasn't going to hide it. Also, I got a haircut. I haven't shaved it all off. Look, like it. It's actually in a plait. So I am not bald. But I thought, why would I wear my hat when I have a nice haircut? Anyway, today I'm going to be going over the controller, what I think of it, whether it's worth the purchase, the usual stuff, what it's like, features it's got, the look and feel, general review of it, and whether I think it's worth a buy. We're now quite a bit over 500 subscribers. We're at 540-ish now at the time of recording this, which is amazing. So thanks so much for subscribing. While you're here, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to click the sub button. Every little sub helps me loads. Click the like, leave a comment, tell me what you think, all that kind of jazz. Without any further ado, let's get to it. This is kind of interesting. This is actually one of the first companies that reached out to me personally after seeing my YouTube reviews and says, look, we want you to have a look at this and we want you to tell me what you think of it and do a YouTube video on it. So they're not paying me for it, but they did send the controller for free. So thanks a lot for that. But I did say to them, if you're going to send it, be aware that if the controller, as usual, is a piece of shit, I will tell you that it's a piece of shit. So no holds barred. So they did send it for free, but I am under no obligation to tell you that it's good or bad or indifferent. So what we'll do first is, the last couple of videos I've done a little bit of an unboxing with a new angle in another room. So let's do that first. So here it is. Joyskypower controller for Switch. So let's get it open, see what we've got inside. Let's get tucked into it. Made a real hash out of this box, like. Yep. What we got? So, anything else in the box? No. Instructions. Instructions. Main box. We have cable, which looks to be, yep, USB Type-C. So that's ideal. Not micro USB where you need to get an adapter like some things these days. And here's the controller. Nice kind of looking bit of kit, isn't it? Packaging's okay. I know no one really cares about packaging except for me, but it's that kind of plastic way. Let's get it out. Oh, we'd have to send that back. So yeah, those are the only things that comes in the box. That's the controller and the charging cable. Nice little looking bit of kit though. Rubber grips. Thumbsticks feel pretty nice. A, B, X and Y. Triggers. What a nice feeling little bit of kit. A little bit of cellophane here. Get rid of you. Let's get into the specs. So yeah, it's a pretty simple box where just as what you'd expect to see in a controller, nothing too fancy. And as I said before, this is the Joyskypower, which I keep mixing up the name, Power 6048 controller. There's a few controllers on the website that I will leave a link in the description below. This one is 20 quid. It is originally designed for Switch and Switch Lite, but does work on PC, which is what I have been using it on, testing it on, and where I'll be giving all my feedback from. For 20 quid, I have to say, when they reached out to me and sent me the link, I was very dubious. And I thought, because I did a review on the MSI one and it was quite good, but it was a little bit more expensive than this, and I kind of expected this to be a bit of a knockoff controller type thing. But actually, I just want to start by saying straight away, I'm pretty impressed by this. And again, like I said at the start, I'm under no obligation to say that. I do like it. For 20 quid, it's a steal. So as far as look and feel goes, so as you can see, showed you in the unboxing, it's pretty standard looking controller. Looks a little bit like the older kind of controller, PlayStation controllers. It's got this nice shiny black plastic on the top of it. Nothing too, obviously doesn't feel expensive because it isn't expensive. but it doesn't feel too cheap. Relatively light, but not paper thin. Got some rubber grips on here. It's got the red trim around one side and the blue on the other, which is obviously for the Switch. Then one little cool feature on this that, you might love or hate, but is under the analog sticks. You can see we've got this little blue here and a little red here, which I thought was a nice little touch. The buttons, they have white on here, so the A, B, X, and Y, they're all white. Nice little touch. And you've got black buttons on here, little logo across the top. The D-pad is as you'd expect, nothing too much else to mention here. Interesting one on the triggers. They don't have anything here. It's just kind of small, which makes for a nice little accentuation. But yeah, as far as look and feel goes, I quite like it. If the red and blue isn't your thing, I suppose you could cover it, maybe paint it. There's another couple of options on the website which you can have a look at. But yeah, considering the price isn't a representation of the look and feel, because I think it's quite a cool little nifty piece of looking kit. As far as functions go, so on the Switch and on the Switch Lite, it's obviously a wireless controller. On the PC, one little downfall is it has to be wired. However, the wired connection means that it's going to stop any latency that you would expect. The cable that comes with it is really small. It is USB Type-C, but you can use any type of USB Type-C cable for it. So just run a longer one and use it like that. In any of the other sort of higher end controllers that you get that are wired, like the Razer Wolverine V2, I'll put a little link up for it up here. They are wired as well, and it helps with latency. So if you're using this for PC, I would say it doesn't really make a difference that it's wired or wireless, because I probably now, knowing what I know, wouldn't use a wireless controller for comp gaming. It has the standard buttons you would expect, the A, B, X, and Y, triggers, click, just generally everything you would see on a kind of Xbox or PS controller, all the same. It also has very cool vibration, which for a controller of this price, you wouldn't normally expect to see, which I quite like. The vibration is pretty strong, nothing that'll blow your hands off, but it's still quite a nice little bit of vibration in there that you'd expect. Now, for me, if I was trying to sell this to you, which I'm not, it's the buttons. For some reason, if you've watched any of my other stuff, you'll know that I love a mechanical button, but also like a spongy button. So as for the Razer Wolverine V2, that had kind of something that was between a mechanical and a spongy button. Now these, I don't know what it is about them. All of the buttons, they just have a nice feel to them. I don't know what it is, I can't explain it to you, but playing with this is a fucking delight. And I don't know why, I don't know what it is about these buttons that I like so much, because they're just buttons, there's something about them that is just different, and they're extremely accurate and precise. Keep on going back to the price of the controller for this, because if you're spending 20 quid, even if you didn't need your new controller and you just thought, I want a spare one or a backup, for 20 quid you could just get it, and then if you hated it, it doesn't really matter too much. But the buttons and the clicks are very appealing on this, I have to say. So that's one of the biggest draws for me on this. Now, precision on the analog sticks is another thing. They're very precise. Tiniest movement gets picked up straight away. You'll notice it. I've played now with this Fortnite, Warzone, Rocket League, any kind of game that you could think of, giving it a shot on, and everything is very precise, especially on something where you would notice massively, like Rocket League. All the tiny little movements are very precise, and when you move, the controller knows that you've moved, which is a nice thing to happen. It doesn't have any miraculous bells and whistles. Like, it doesn't have kind of the extra buttons that you might get on some of the other ones. Like, yeah, I don't even believe why I'm saying this, because you wouldn't expect that for a controller of this price. But yeah, the grips on the outside, the grips are really nice. They don't get too sweaty at all, because it's kind of like it's not a full rubber. It's kind of, it feels like a kind of mix between rubber and plastic. It doesn't get that horrible, as I mentioned in other videos, this smell for the rubber grips that you sometimes get if your hands are stinking like mine and sweaty. But even if you get sweaty, this isn't going anywhere, because it's that kind of nice material that's there. But everything about it, while playing, I just really like that. I don't know what it is. I would really like these guys to make a more expensive upmarket controller, because they have some really cool features and some really cool, like the way that the buttons are, the materials, it's all nice, but it is obviously just budget friendly. And obviously that, that's clear. But if you've ever played with any of like the PowerA Fusion controllers or that, this is better than them. So if you're looking for a choice of cheap controller, this is your one. I know this was relatively short, but I just want to say again, thanks to the guys for sending this out to me, and it will be getting used, because it is a really nice controller, and it has a lot more than what you would expect to get from what you're paying for it, which is bang on. I really am blown away by it, which sounds mental to say for a 20 quid controller. But anyway, again, like I said, quite short. I'll leave a link for it in the description below if you want to go and spend it, have a look on the website, see what you think. If you decide to buy one, or if you've got any other questions about it, drop me a comment below. I'll get back to all my comments. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy the content, have a look around, leave a sub to stay up to date with all of my content, and yeah, but until next time, I'll see you then.